describe the march that you participated in, I mean, what were your emotions? What did it feel like as you did that?
I would describe it as part of a large wave. You know, it was a big group of people. You get caught up in, like, no more war. It's catchphrases. It's a release of allowing your voice to be heard when you don't think they're hearing you.
Wonder if that's a little bit like today.
Yes, I would say that. And I would say, bridging that with today, it's those of us that have been through that 60s and 70s protest era, we've kind of been waiting for the passion to be reignited in our citizens for something, for Black Lives Matter, for a voice for immigrants being turned away at our shores. I would say that a lot of the protests nationwide were very well organized. You know, KU's being no exception, because you had 20 to 25,000 students on campus. If you drew, you know, a tenth of that, you had a large group of people. I remember the spring of 1970. That was the end of my freshman year. I don't know why Lawrence, Kansas was picked as the hotbed of Midwestern anti-war political activity, but forces from outside of Lawrence came in. Our student union was burned. There was sniper fire. I remember going to the 10th floor of Oliver Hall and watching the Union burn. People bravely went in and tried to bring out artifacts that were, you know, couldn't be replicated. There was sniper fire. I believe there might have even been a death. You'll have to check that. But we were on a 6 o'clock curfew, and there was a convocation of all students in the football stadium. And because of this sniper fire and the infiltration and the political unrest, we were asked as students to vote if we wanted to continue and finish the school year, freeze our grades, and go home. And of course, no student in their right mind wasn't going to say, yeah, let's freeze our grades and go home. So that's what ended up happening. That, you know, they called school off early because they were fearful that students were going to be killed in the line of fire. And the National Guard came in and kind of shut the city down. But, you know, it was another way of drawing national interest. I'm sure the people that planned this protest and these kind of leaning towards more violent activities were trying to draw attention to the fact that this wasn't just happening in Los Angeles and, you know, just a couple of places. This was Kent State, this was Lawrence, Kansas, this was other places throughout the United States. And you could kind of feel the surge of protest increasing.
There was one at Iowa State as well. Not violent, but there was one there as well.
Mm-hmm. I would venture to guess most campuses, you know, again, because it was the 18 to 25-year-olds that had the biggest stake in this. They were the ones that were going to be, because of draft numbers, and many with low draft numbers just decided to enlist. You know, I want to make a choice of what branch of service I want to be in, and I know I'm going to get called anyway, so I'm just going to get this over with. So, you know, it was affecting that age group, and how wonderful for that age group to find their voices in, for the most part, nonviolent protesting. You know, hear our voices. And yet, for quite a period of time, the war continued to escalate, in spite of the fact that students were, you know, people, and not just students, but, you know, there were adults also that were, you know, I don't get what this is all about. And I want to emphasize that this doesn't diminish, you know, my son is in the Air Force, and he has studied and met with heroes like John McCain, you know, people that you know, were captured and tortured and, you know, served bravely, and you always hope that, and I think in this era of, you know, since September 11th, we have kind of gone back to make amends and honor Vietnam veterans, as well as our World War II veterans who are, you know, diminishing, as well as I think current servicemen and women feel strong support from their country. I think we give them much more respect. You know, again, I feel a deep empathy for those who served during those 60s and 70s.
It was a tough time.
Very tough time.